Hi, welcome to Peachtree World News, and this is Geshe Michael Roach. And I'm really excited to be able to appear on the first news show here, broadcasting from Mexico. And it's been kind of exciting for us to do it for the first time in another country. And we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One is I want to make sure to invite you to come to the Steps of the Path teaching that will be happening in Guadalajara, Mexico. We're coming back to Guadalajara after the COVID years, three years I think we couldn't come. And that'll be July 5th to July 11th. That starts on a Wednesday. It goes to a Tuesday. We tried to catch the weekend in the middle so that those of you who have to go to work real busy, you'll still be able to come to the main thing. So that'll be a whole week. Start Wednesday, go to Tuesday, starting on July 5th. Here's a QR code. You can register for the retreat, and we're deep into the explanation of the steps on the path for developing some kind of stopping our selfishness, stopping our habit of just thinking about ourselves and taking care of ourselves, and expanding that motivation to other people. So I think it's going to be a beautiful return to Mexico. I'm really looking forward to it. My wife and I, Veronica, have really missed going to Guadalajara. We miss seeing all our friends there. And I think it's going to be a great retreat. So thanks for tuning in to Peachtree World News number 4. We're filming this whole section, this whole show in Mexico this time. I'm going to be, as you watching this, I'm going to be in Vietnam and Japan teaching there. So I'm recording this ahead of time so you guys can enjoy it. But I do look forward to being in Mexico in July. The rest of the World News show for those 2 days is going to be really cool, and I encourage you to tune into it. So I was going to give 4 short classes, 15 minutes each. I think 15 minutes is a nice, comfortable piece of time. Everyone's busy in the world, and what I've learned is that if you do, it's kind of a trick. You see, you watch a 15-minute show and you enjoy it, and then you say, I'll just watch the second one. And then before you know it, you've watched 4 shows in a row for 1 hour. So, when we were trying to decide a topic from the ancient teachings that would be good for this show, personally, I like to teach something that I've been working on. And I've been working intensely for about 2 months or a little bit more. It's a special book, which I mentioned in the last Peachtree show, translated by Ben Kramer and myself. It took about 5 years of classes. We went through the whole book. And this book is called The Great Ideas of the East, a survey of 101 enlightening belief systems from ancient Asia. So it's a long name of a book. The main thing is this: everybody has a belief system, which we talked about at the last Peachtree show. Belief system means what are the beliefs that you grew up with, okay? And everybody's different, Every country is different, every family is different, every city is different, and we all grow up with certain beliefs in our heart. And when you're a kid, when you're young, that belief system is kind of funny, like in my house, we had a big spoon and a little spoon. So when we eat dinner, my mom will say, go get the little spoons. Or my mom will say, go get the big spoon, set the table. and get the big spoons or get the little spoons. And then we will run to the kitchen and open the drawer and take out the little spoons or the big spoons. And then when you get to be about, I don't know, 7 years old, in my city, Phoenix, then you're allowed to go to your friend's house. We had bicycles. We traveled pretty far in our city. You know, we would travel 4 or 5 miles on our bicycles. And in those days in my city, there were many open fields. You could just cut across the fields to your friend's house. Now it's filled up. My city has increased to 1,000% since I was a kid. And so we go to our friend's house, and then their moms say, oh, hey, Mikey, can you go get the big spoons, you know? And I go get the big spoons and come back, and she said, no, that's a little spoons, you know? I say, no, that's a big spoons. Mrs. Smith, you know, this is the big spoons. They said, no, Mikey, that's a little spoon, you know. I said, but in our house, it's a big spoon. She said, yeah, but your house big spoon and our house big spoon, maybe it's different, you know, not the same size, you know. And there's a time when you're a kid and you have this big understanding, you know, that maybe in other houses, big spoon is a little spoon, you know, and maybe little spoon is a big spoon. And what happened was, you just met another belief system, okay? So your friend's house belief system is different from the belief system in your house. And when you go to your friend's house and you find out that big spoons could be little spoons and little spoons could be big spoons, then suddenly you get a big understanding in your mind, and your mind expands 50%. You see, if you learn another belief system of your friend's family, then your mind expands. And I'll tell you honestly, when you learn another belief system, sometimes you say, you know, that one's better. I like that system better. Their big spoon is really big, and their little spoon is comfortable. I like their big spoon, and I like their little spoon better than my house, okay? Or maybe you go to their house and you say, God, that big spoon's too big. They shouldn't have that kind of big spoon, you know. So you can, when you meet another belief system, you learn something new. And then if you're smart, and as you grow up, if you're lucky, like my family and my university, we're at Princeton, where I went to university, they encourage us to go see other countries, to go see other belief systems. You know, when I went to university, there was a time, that time is gone by the way, that they encourage you to go to a foreign country, they require, every student at Princeton has to learn a foreign language. They require you to go to another country. They give you permission. I got credit. My last year of Princeton, I only went to the school for 3 months, I think. And they gave me credit, they gave me my scholarship money. And I went to other countries, and I learned new belief systems. So this book, as we mentioned in the last Peachtree show, it's 101 different belief systems. And, you know, it's like the most popular songs on Apple Music or something, you know. There's, you can go see the top 10 songs, or you can go to Netflix or Apple TV and you see what's the top 10 TV shows this week, you know. And what this book is, it's written 300 years ago. And it has the 101 top belief systems for the last 2,500 years, you know. Wow, you know, 25 centuries, which is about almost 100 generations of people. So think grandfather, 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 you know, 100 grandfathers back. And it's a beautiful book about the most popular belief systems. And two things are going to happen. Like we said, two things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to find out a belief system that you're happy and you feel lucky that it's not your belief system. You know, for example, in here, they give an example of a belief system that they believe in this ancient belief system that if you take a horse and a live horse, and you take a hammer and a nail, and you nail 100 nails into the horse, into their body, alive. You nail 100 nails into their body, and then you kill them, and you offer that blood to the sky, you know, that this will get you special knowledge or special good deed. And it's a terrible mistake. Of course, it's a terrible mistake to think that anything good can come if you kill other living creatures. It's a terrible, terrible mistake. Maybe 100 years from now, people will look back at us and say, oh my gosh, they used to raise those cows and pigs for food, and then they used to kill them and eat their body. And somebody say, wow, they didn't have corn, or they didn't have rice, or, you know, were they very poor and they had to kill the animals? And they say, no, they had plenty of corn, they had plenty of rice. They just liked the taste of the animal's foot and the animal's arm. And I'm like, wow, you know, so maybe in 100 years from now, people will look at our belief system and say, wow, that was so strange. Okay, so Ben's new book, which is 532 hard pages. And when I say hard page, every single page was hard work for 6 years. Every single page. We had to work hard, translate for many hours, and try to understand these ancient... There are big parts of Ben's book which are 2,500 years old, and it's very, very difficult. So we worked very hard on it, and we went through the 101 belief systems. Now, 100 of those 101 belief systems, 100 of them, there's something wrong. Okay? Like, I don't know, number 3 is where you put the nails in the horse and then you kill it. Of course, that's that's really low on the list, right? But as you get up, you know, 80, 90, you get all the way to 100, they improve. Okay? Then those belief systems, they get more and more interesting because there's things we can use. There's things that, wow, I never thought of that. You know, that big spoon is really helpful. We got to buy some of those big spoons for our house. And you see something very cool about an ancient belief system, and you say, wow, let's use this one, like the pen, the idea about the pen. You know, that comes from like 97, 98 belief system, different ideas of the pen, they come from there. So you go up through 100 belief systems. It's hard work. And by the way, you don't get new understanding unless you work hard. Okay, let's face it. You know, these books are hard. These ideas are hard. And anything valuable, anything that's going to help your whole life, it's going to be hard. Okay, it's hard. Like to learn a new language. It's not easy. To really learn other people's belief system, to learn their language, to think like them, it's not easy. It's hard work, you know. And so look, 100 belief systems, you're going to have to go through them, through this book. What I want to do today is very fun. I'd like to talk about belief system number 101. Okay, so he goes through 100 belief systems. They're great, they have some good things, and they have some dumb things, okay? Then when you get to 101, this is actually supposed to be the highest belief system. We call middle way, prasangika middle way. It's supposed to be the highest belief system at all. And he says something interesting. He says, if you read about this belief system, if you learn it, and if you try to do it, something changes in your body. Okay? That's amazing. Okay? If you read belief system number 101 and you study it, your body starts to change. Certain changes happen in your body. And then he says, if you study 101 longer, certain changes happen in your speaking, your ability to speak. Very unusual, very cool changes in how you speak come from looking at these belief systems, part of the 101. And then he says, and then there's things that happen inside of your mind. Okay, when you read this belief system 101, when you study it, when you think about it, now catch this: 110 different things happen inside of your mind. Okay, when you study belief system number 101, 110 changes take place inside your mind. And I thought maybe you guys would like to hear a few of those. And we'll start out in the next segment. We'll start out on some of those 110 changes that start happening in your mind. See you soon.